Welcome to Leadership in the Line of Fire with your host, Brad Hauck. Join Brad as he dives into the heat of leadership challenges, where the flames of business uncertainty meet the hard-earned lessons of firefighting. Embrace change, master agility, and become the trusted leader guiding your team through the smoke. Get ready to ignite your leadership journey.
Welcome to the Leadership in the Line of Fire podcast. Today's topic is leading in times of turmoil. Whether you're on the fireground or in a business, leadership is about staying calm, making decisions, and guiding your team through the chaos. Let's get into it. Turmoil is like always there. It doesn't matter. It's always around every single corner and it's in every single win. Just when you think things are going well, it doesn't. We have to understand that no matter what we do, we cannot keep things running smoothly. To give you the perfect example, I was recently at a meeting, I was talking to someone and they were giving me some great feedback saying what a good job I was doing and how well I was doing in leading in my role. And I was really enjoying myself in the fact that someone had actually taken the time to say something nice to me, because most people don't bother talking to their leaders and saying, hey, you're doing a good job. So it's always really cool to get some feedback just for a minute there to go, okay, looks like maybe I am doing the right thing. Because obviously in leadership, you really miss out on the opportunity of getting feedback because it just doesn't happen. So I go home, I'm feeling good. Next morning I wake up and bang, the phone goes off and there's an issue. I call this the kiss kick situation. It happens all the time. Just when I think everything's going well, it turns to crap. And it's always the way. So in your life, you may or may not have experienced this, but I'm guessing you've probably lived through it at least one or two times. For me, it seems to be a regular occurrence. I can be just going along, doing my thing. Suddenly something really good happens. I think, oh, this is great. We're doing so well. And then bang, it gets slapped out of the left field. So you've got to come to expect the chaos. It's always there. It's always going to come in. So how do we deal with the turmoil? First is we need to embrace change as an opportunity, not a threat. We need to understand that no matter what we do, we're going to face change, and with that change will come turmoil. So we need to anticipate and prepare for the change rather than reacting to it. We know it's coming. Make sure that we got our teams prepared and ourselves prepared for when it happens. The truth is, adaptability can mean the difference between success and failure as a leader or just for your team. So making sure everyone's adaptable and they're trained to deal with change works really efficiently. You're going to face business challenges, just like wildfires in firefighting. They can escalate really quickly if you don't get to them. So make sure that you're taking that time to deal with the problems and embracing it as an opportunity. You're looking for the chance to learn. You're taking those so that next time, as you're moving along as a leader, you don't get hit by that change or that chaos quite as hard because you are expecting it up front. You're prepared for it, or it may be something that you weren't thinking of at the time and didn't deal with it. So when it came around, it really hit you hard. So that's where we set in functions, we put in processes, checklists, all sorts of things that help us deal with that. For example, you might get to the fireground on a fire truck, you go to get your mask out of the side and there's no masks on the side of the truck, which is great when there's lots of smoke. No, it's not great, it's bad. The fact of the matter is, if they're not on the checklist, they can get missed. When you hit these problems, make sure that you do something to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. You need to be decisive under pressure when you're dealing with chaos, and whenever you're in times of turmoil, you need to understand the importance of making quick, informed decisions during that time. You cannot wait around and hope things get better, and you cannot wait to give an answer. You need to think about the information that's at your hand and make a decision and go with it. You can always adjust the decision afterwards, and you're not always going to make the right decision, but any decision is better than no decision at all. If you balance your thoughts between taking rapid action and thoughtful assessment, and you find that balance in the middle there, you should be right. Don't move too fast, don't move too slow, but move forward. Remember that hesitation can be more damaging to you as a leader and to your team than making a wrong decision and learning from it. Another step you need to take when you're dealing with turmoil is building a resilient and adaptable team. You cannot undervalue the power of a well-trained team to operate effectively under stress. A well-trained team can work together even when things get bad because they rely on each other. They know each other's strengths. They know what each other's capable of. Even if they haven't worked together before, if they've been trained as part of a larger team, they have a good understanding of where they all can work together. Remember to apply span of control, 1:5. So you shouldn't have too many people in your teams. Break them down into small teams and give them a leader. That way they can work together better and the communication is nice and strong within that group. Don't try to build big teams of 25 people. It doesn't work. I know businesses like to do it. It's not efficient. And if you've ever worked a place that has large teams, you'll know that there is a lot of people who are dissatisfied with the situation and there's a lot of whinging going on because there's no leadership there for everybody. It tends to fall onto a few people that get all of the attention, and they're the ones that everybody hates because they're attracting all the attention from the leader. Make sure you keep your communication up. Communication isn't just about giving orders, it's about ensuring that your messages are understood. When times are tumultuous, this is the worst time for communications. If communications are going to break down, it will be when things are going crazy around you. That's when your radios break down. That's when you have phone coverage. That's when people are half listening. You need to make sure that everybody's getting the message and they're getting it clearly. Again, if you use span of control and you're talking to your leaders on a 1-5 basis, your 5 leaders can go out and talk to their 5 people. The message is going to be far better delivered that way than if you do the old Chinese whispers where it's going to get passed on from one person to the other and change all the time. Understand the importance of consistent, transparent communication because it maintains the team's focus when times are bad. Always look at what you're doing. Come back and review it. Is that message getting through? Am I seeing what I asked to get done getting done? Is it not moving forward? Are we really solving this problem or are we stagnant? 9 times out of 10, if you answer yes to any of those questions, it's because your communication's broken down and people don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So take a little bit of time and get it right. Finally, when things are crazy, make sure that you lead with empathy and emotional intelligence. Now, a lot of people say they don't have any emotional intelligence, but everybody has empathy and everybody has emotion. So let's just start there. It's hard to balance between maintaining authority and showing vulnerability. It's something you need to learn. How vulnerable can you get? Should you get vulnerable with everybody? There is a time for being vulnerable. And at a time of crisis, that's not the time to be vulnerable. That's the time to maintain authority with understanding, and this is where empathy comes in. You need to understand that people underneath you are in pressure. If you're dealing with a flood, if you're dealing with business issues, if you're dealing with fires, that's when things are going crazy. People are feeling it. The community's feeling it. There's that trauma, that general feeling of bad happening. And the only way you can deal with that is to be empathetic to your people, but keep authority over them so that they have a leader they can look up to. When they start to lose faith, they need to be able to look to you. And if you're standing there as a strong figure and as a leader, and you acknowledge the fact that they're feeling the stress, you acknowledge the fact that they're getting absolutely hammered, and that they're feeling things that they probably aren't enjoying, then you're going to be able to lead your people through. Now, sometimes you may need to take someone aside and have a chat to them privately, or refer them on to a specialist to talk to them, or just take 2 seconds just to say, are you okay? But it's really important that you do that. It doesn't mean you're doing it with everybody. You're just watching for those individual cases where you think you can really make a difference. If you do see someone in one of the teams falling by, talk to their leader and say, hey, you need to go and have a talk to that person, or just check they're okay. Don't let it float, because they won't be okay and they won't get through it. Always take time to inspire confidence by being authentic, showing empathy, and leading with strong emotional intelligence. So thanks for tuning in to Leadership in the Line of Fire. If you found any good stuff in today's episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like and leave a review, and share it with one of the other leaders who's leading through the flames of change. If you've got thoughts, questions, or stories about leadership under pressure, I'd love to hear from you. Please drop a comment or a DM to me. Remember, leadership isn't just a title. It's about how you show up when the heat is on. Catch you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Leadership in the Line of Fire. If today's episode sparked some insights, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Your support fuels this journey. Join us next time as we continue to explore leadership lessons from the fire line. Until then, keep leading with courage and agility.